Cutting-edge farm tech is absolutely mind-blowing in its efficiency, ingenuity, and capabilities. From laser blasting scarecrows to bizarre contraptions like this, and an enormous amount of insanely satisfying harvesting footage, let's check out top-tier farming technology for a next-level productivity. Hay bales are everywhere on farms, but I bet you didn't know how fascinating it is to see these things get made. The Gowel G1 Combi Baler Wrapper is like a roided-out lawnmower with a factory strapped on its back. It takes the raw materials through the rollers up front with these intimidating hooks, snagging pre-cut grass or grain stalks. On the inside, a complex series of blades and rollers spiral the mass of harvested material into a cohesive cylinder. And then, once the assembled bale gets transported out the back, the best bit happens: the wrap.
Here we go.
Following an initial layer being applied inside, reels of thin plastic are stretched over the bale by mechanized rotating arms.
That was awesome!
Then the bale's sent on its way. The plastic wrap creates an airtight seal, inside which the hay is left to ferment without spoiling. After 3 to 6 weeks, this eventually turns into a silage, which is kind of like pickled grass. Sounds weird, but it's extra nutrient-rich, making it perfect livestock feed. For us humans, though, merely watching that spinning wrap machine in action is all the nutrients we need. Prior to hay being baled up, sometimes it needs to be positioned into more manageable rows, which can involve using a machine like this bizarre contraption. This is the Enorasi Batrake, and it's the final evolution of the humble rake. Kind of looks like an optical illusion from the back, doesn't it? Let's take a brief foray into the violently vibrating world of orchard tree shakers now. These bizarre machines typically involve a wide-brimmed canopy, which is deployed around a tree's trunk, at the center of which an extended vice arm will grip the tree and shake it like a Polaroid picture. As you can see, it's a fun process to watch, so I'll just shut up a moment and let you enjoy some tree-shaking goodness. After all the shaking's done, the goods will be gathered up and transported to a collector, ready for processing. This is the Tevel, a true modern agricultural engineering marvel. Its purpose in life is to pick fruit and save farmers a remarkable amount of time and energy. Using guidance systems and control algorithms similar to QR codes, these drones move with a speed and accuracy I assumed was exclusive to science fiction. Not only are they ace pilots, but they gather all sorts of data on the fruit they pick, measuring things like weight, size, color, and even disease detection. They can handle anything from apricots to apples, and can easily fly in and out of foliage. A more heavy-duty drone farmer exists in the form of the DJI Agris T50. This powerhouse is equipped with a mighty coaxial twin-rotor propulsion system, allowing it to carry up to 88 pounds when spraying liquids and 110 pounds when spreading solids. With radar and a complex sensor and camera system, this airborne amigo gets super accurate environment readouts, perfect for advanced aerial land surveys, even for dense orchards like this, where it can then deliver a fine pesticide mist. Using drones to spray fertilizer is becoming increasingly common in farms across the world, thanks to the fact that they're super quick and don't leave tire ruts in the fields. Okay now folks, prepare for some immense satisfaction, because I've got some top quality harvest footage coming right up. This Ropa harvesting setup is the GOAT of root vegetable farming. The harvest typically kicks off with a series of Ropa tigers plucking the vegetables out of the ground. The complex contraptions on the front chop off the green leaves and stems and swing the veg up in one fell swoop, up onto the internal assembly line and up to the back of the vehicle. After this, the produce is emptied into an enormous pile, where it's all scooped up by a Ropa mouse, which shakes loose some of the unwanted plant matter as it moves the veg up into the transport vehicle, where the total weight can be easily monitored. Pretty fun to watch in action, right? It looks kind of like me eating Cheetos. Working together, this dream team make clearing an entire field a cakewalk of efficiency and speed. And it's all managed from the heads-up touchscreen displays in the machine's nifty rotating cabins. These types of harvesting techniques come in many impressive forms, including some approaches where the collecting vehicle will drive alongside the harvester, as is the case with the Oxbow AR4BX all-purpose harvester. I can't help feeling like lining that thing up is a lot of pressure. Root vegetable harvesting is a fascinating process across the board, and even the humble carrot gets an exciting action sequence when harvested by something like the ASA Lift SPT series. This beast has an internal assembly line system designed to grab the green leaves, pluck the carrots out of the earth, and heave them along to the inside, where the leaves are chopped off and shot out the back of the tractor. The orange carrots themselves, meanwhile, are deposited in the storage zone, pretty much ready to eat.
The dirtier the better.
Well, hello there, cutie. Oh, sorry, wasn't talking to you. I was talking to him. He's soft, cuddly, and irresistible. He's my perfect real-life copy. And for the entire month of May, you can grab our iconic Bartholomew plushie for half price. You heard it right. That's 50% off. Everybody loves him, with loads of 5-star reviews backing up the quality. Whether he's sitting on your desk or chilling on your bed, he's a perfect companion. And remember, every plushie is designed by us, and every purchase helps support the channel and keeps the videos coming. This offer only lasts a month, though, so if you ever thought about getting one, now's the time. Scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description to grab your Bartholomew while this insane deal lasts. Up next, here's something I can easily picture rolling its way around a terraformed farm on Mars in a few decades' time. Let me introduce Prosper, Robotic Plus's unmanned ground vehicle. The UGV is a powerful, self-driving mistress designed to help make tending to orchards and vineyards an almost fully automated task. With fully interchangeable spraying tools, Prosper can unleash her fans to create a mist of droplets so fine it even reaches the back of the leaves. She's fast, too, with a lightweight frame and rear axle turning, making those tight-end row turns a breeze. This next unmanned ground vehicle may look like a miniature SUV on first glance, but wait till you take a cheeky peek at its undercarriage to see what's going on down there. This little droid is the Nexus Weeding Robot, an autonomous machine that uses a highfalutin real-time computer vision overlay and AI-driven algorithms to guide itself around the fields, plucking those pesky weeds with pinpoint accuracy, reducing the need for nasty herbicides and saving some poor human farmers' bad back, all via some very precise yoink action. Man, I could watch that thing all day. An even cooler, more badass update on that general idea is the Carbon Robotics Laser Weeder. Now, you might be wondering what all that flickering light's about. Well, using an integrated AI system paired with 42 high-resolution cameras, this bad boy is trained to differentiate between 150 million plant species. And when it finds its target,
I started blasting. Bang! Bang!
it fires up to 30 high-powered 240-watt lasers aiming right at each weed's base, superheating its cell walls and causing them to literally explode from the inside out.
Oh, gnarly!
With its lasers firing every 50 milliseconds, it's capable of taking down 5,000 weeds a minute. If it can see it, it can shoot it. Livestock farming is similarly full of astonishingly efficient technology. One particularly peculiar machine answers the question of how to collect large amounts of chickens at once. The Chicken Cat is the modern answer to this challenge. This nifty little gizmo vacuums up our tasty feathered pals using soft plastic bristles, ensuring their farm experience is as smooth and stress-free as possible. It actually looks kind of fun. With a conveyor belt attached to it, it gently scoops up the chickens and safely delivers them into their transport containers. It's so productive, it can collect up to 9,000 chickens in an hour. There are other variations on this chicken scooping tech out there, like ESM's A Viking Poultry Harvester, which can scoop up 6,000 birds an hour. Anyone else getting automatic car wash vibes from this thing? Well, it looks a little more sinister when used at night. It's like some kind of chicken nightclub, but you wouldn't want to stick around for closing time. For a less monstrous and much smoother chicken gathering experience, here's the second generation Apollo chicken harvester. This big, broad beauty that actually operates in a surprisingly similar way to a regular combine harvester, albeit much less deadly to living beings, can scoop up a hefty 12,000 chickens an hour. That's about halfway to my usual KFC order. Impressive. I'll bet you never expected strawberry harvesting to be an ultra-high-tech process. But with the Agrobot SW6010E series, it absolutely is, and it's mesmerizing to watch. This harvester has up to 24 independent robotic arms that can be arranged in any order. It uses real-time AI to locate and soft-pick strawberries, holding them only by their stems. They then deliver them right into the shipping boxes, ready to go. But the Agrobot isn't the only one of its kind. The Harvest Crew strawberry picker does a similar job, although it seems a little more handsy. With all the moving, spinning arms working simultaneously, it's a mesmerizing process to watch. The system does all this while simultaneously navigating safely by using LiDAR scans of its environment and creating 3D scans of each berry, which it uses to assess quality. Pretty sweet, huh? A simpler design on the StraboBot concept can be seen in Organifarm's strawberry picker named Berry, which utilizes a more standard articulated robot arm for its picking. While Berry might be slower, it does load its produce directly into customer-ready boxes, meaning one less middleman between you, the human, and your tasty fruit. On to something a little different now. Check this weird thing out. Whoa, those stalks got slurped right up. That's the ultra-smooth harvesting technique used by the Fendt Ideal 9T Combine Harvester. It honestly looks like a weapon of war, but those things up front aren't missiles. The odd-looking contraption is called a corn header, and its various cones align with the spacing between rows of corn or similar plants. This means each row could be guided into its own harvesting zone, where the stalk is pulled down and the ear of corn pops off, ready to be transported further into the harvester. Inside, it'll enter a threshing machine, where the corn will be shucked off the husk, as you can see in this surprisingly intense animation. Pretty crazy what goes on inside, huh? Returning to those cones up front, the reason they fold inward like that is in order to allow the Ideal 9T to drive on roads easily. But despite its compact size, this harvester is incredibly quick and efficient, as you can see. Then whether this beast is gathering corn, wheat, or other grains, it gathers a lot. We've seen a few machines on the thick side of things, but this skinny fella can sneak between the rows with ease. This is the RowBot, and it's designed to weave among tall crops like corn to do jobs traditional farm machines simply can't. It can squeeze through, spraying nitrogen to boost growth rate and plant strength, and laying down different varieties of seed while the main crop is still growing. This method, known as interseeding, allows farmers to have another crop's growth already underway when the main crop, corn for example, is harvested. Because the robot operates under the canopy, it avoids the problem of seeds getting caught in the leaves of the main crop, which is common in the old method of dropping seeds from above. The interseeded cover crops that robot plants, like grasses, help keep the soil intact and maintain its integrity as the main crops grow. The manufacturer's vision involves developing swarms of these small, networked robots to provide the same efficiency as large conventional machinery while causing significantly less soil compaction. But if we're talking mini machines, there are few things as interesting nor straight up bizarre as these ride-on miniature cultivators. Looking like some kind of steampunk contraption, these are essentially an ultra-shrunk-down version of a rotary tiller, which is usually attached to tractors to turn over land for aeration ahead of seeding. These micro-machines are only suitable for very small batches of soft ground, although similar variants are also occasionally utilized for tilling rice paddies. Looks fun, almost as fun as this. What you're seeing is a monorail system set up by the Mosel Terraces, Europe's steepest vineyards. Without this motorized helping hand, reaching these grapes would be exhausting. Let's check out a slightly ridiculous, super-powered piece of farm tech now. Laser-eyed scarecrows. I'm not kidding, these things are some of the most effective pieces of anti-bird technology money can buy, preventing pesky avians from tucking into the fresh harvest. Take this AgriLaser Autonomic, for example. A laser scarecrow that uses high-power beams to shoo away birds without actually hurting them at all. Easy to install atop somewhere like a barn or warehouse, and fully automated, it'll be searching for unwanted feathered guests on its own once activated. I just hope this is all compliant with bird law.
There's no such thing as bird law. Yes, there is.
In keeping with the laser theme, check this out. This is laser-guided mushroom picking. Each color tells the picker whether a mushroom is of suitable size to harvest, with green being the indicator a shroom is good to be plucked out and sent along the assembly line for packaging. The shroom picking process is even quicker on this fully automated machine, which identifies and picks up to 30 mushrooms a minute. From substrate to pizza topping, mushroom harvesting and chopping machines are incredibly satisfying to watch. This next piece of futuristic farm tech is the robot equivalent of a pack mule. With jet blasters strapped on its back, yeah, it's basically robotic Blastoise. The XAG-R150 is a self-driving workhorse made for precision crop protection, scouting fields like an eagle-eyed rancher, and hauling all those back-breaking loads with ease. It can even help pull vehicles out of the mud. With a carry load of up to 330 pounds, this all-terrain laborer can either be controlled right from the palm of your hand or let loose with its onboard AI. And once this electric-powered beast's dual batteries are out of juice, it's back up and running after just a quick 15-minute recharge. Raring to go for another 4 hours of solid work. Back to the orchard now, where the FF Robot Apple Picker does its work at what is reported to be 10 times the speed and productivity of the average human. This machine definitely gets my vote for best yoink so far. It can even pick 2 apples at a time. Double yoink! Once it's full, it automatically drops its bin and reloads, with the next one waiting for it up ahead. Tomato harvesters are even more fun to watch. The MetoMotion Greenhouse Robotic Tomato Harvester is a fully autonomous marvel with 3D vision, which its AI is able to analyze live, determining which tomatoes are ripe enough to be picked. Using dual robotic arms, it gathers tomatoes by the bunch, snipping them off the vine, and then depositing them into dispatch crates, ready to be used in the Sunday ragu by nanas everywhere. Bellissimo! As the future takes us towards farming in more unusual spaces and places, including space itself, one of the techniques that'll become ever more important is hydroponics. This is when farmers grow plants without soil, typically leaving crop roots exposed and fed directly with a nutrient-rich water supply. While hydroponic systems have already seen use by NASA aboard the International Space Station, back on Earth, we've started seeing hydroponic rice paddies, utilizing floating platforms. This method saves a ton of land space by using already available water spaces without the rice needing to be anchored to the ground, so any water depth can serve the purpose. It also greatly reduces water consumption, as it negates the usual issues of the plant's water resources being lost through runoff and evaporation. In a more grounded approach to rice growing, though, all it takes is a simple side-by-side comparison to see the speed difference when using traditional hand planting methods versus the latest seed planting machines. With a rotating reload system, impressive pieces of equipment like this use an array of rotating blades to cut chunks off of the pre-prepped rice turf, slotting it into the submerged soil below. Rice farmers also use more traditional but no less genius methods of ensuring an efficient harvest. namely the usage of ducks in rice paddies. The ducks don't eat the rice plants, but will eat insects and pests that typically jeopardize rice growth, including snails and weeds, while also fertilizing the rice with their droppings. This provides the ducks with supplemental food essentially for free and gives them a dual purpose before they're eventually harvested for meat.
Oh. Okay.
Not much of a reward for their hard work, but what can you do? Over in Europe, there are an impressive number of innovative farms where hydroponics are being used, together with automated robot systems to grow cucumbers and other vegetables. Inside enormous climate-controlled greenhouse spaces like this one, huge plant reservoirs are periodically flooded with nutrient-rich water, which gets almost entirely recirculated in the next cycle after harvesting. 80 Acres Farms in the USA also uses a remarkably innovative approach known as vertical farming, in which layers and layers of crops are stacked to the rafters to maximize space efficiency. These stacked layers can be moved for growth and harvested via an advanced farm-wide conveyor system, with huge arrays of low-energy requirement LED lights allowing the plants inside to photosynthesize and robotic arm arrays to reposition the crops. It's a marvel to behold. These vertical setups are gaining popularity around the world, with their meticulously monitored, self-contained, closed systems able to minimize crop loss due to disease, pests, or droughts. The world's largest vertical farm, meanwhile, can be found in the United Arab Emirates, under the mighty name Bustanica. This mega farm also uses hydroponics, submerging roots in nutrient-rich water, which gets recycled after each usage, saving enormous amounts of water versus traditional farming methods. The dense stacks of crops allow them to output a whopping 3 tons of fresh greens every day. On a smaller scale, this vertical hydroponics farm grows stacks of grass for usage as fodder for livestock. With rows of the stuff growing simultaneously, it's just a matter of yanking the whole row off when it's ready to harvest. Looks pretty fun, right? An even more impressive farming method is aquaponics. It's like hydroponics, but with a twist. It's a fully integrated ecosystem. Fish are added to the water, where their poop acts as a nutrient-rich fertilizer that dissolves in the water, feeding the plants. In turn, the plants help purify the water for the fish, making it a perfect closed-loop system, one that's increasingly seeing usage in China for growing rice. And hey, you can sell the fish afterwards too. Fish and veggies. It's a match made in heaven. While researching this video, I was surprised to learn that there's a surprisingly popular, weird niche on YouTube filled with AI videos of mega-sized banana harvesting operations. But despite the AI slop, the real process is still super interesting and filled with fascinating machinery. Cableway systems are often used to transport hand-harvested bananas from field to factory, like this absolutely ingenious contraption. Yep, you really just saw a motorbike's rear wheel being used as essentially a cog to power the rail wheels up above, pulling along a line of harvested bananas on hooks. The bananas tend to get washed prior to packing and shipping too, to remove any banana tree sap, pests, or insect eggs before their journey. For this purpose, there are even banana washing machines, which is not something I expected to exist. And when it's time for the banana fields to be cleared, they bring in the industrial banana mulcher, which kind of brutally shreds the trees to pieces. Mulching like this makes for some super healthy, nutrient-rich soil for whatever the farmers choose to grow next. In a somewhat similar vein, watermelon harvests are often done by hand, with rows of folks loading the heavy melons into trucks. But conveyor belt machinery is occasionally used alongside human workers to speed up the transport to the main truck. Once the harvest is completed, if there are any melons or other gourds that didn't make the cut for human consumption, farmers will pulverize them into mulch and seed, ready to fertilize the field for the next harvest season. Now that's a machine that you wouldn't want to fall into. Moving on, did you know that you can actually bring ultra-futuristic tech to a small backyard farm plot? Check out the FarmBot Genesis XL, an automated smart planter system that might just be the future of farming. Just imagine a supersized version spread across an entire field, creating a fully automated operation. Right now, all you need is a raised planter bed, electricity, water, and the internet. Add some seeds and the rest is up to the machine. The FarmBot's AI makes all the decisions, from planting locations and spacing to watering and harvest schedules. It can grow enough vegetables to feed a family of 4, and it's even caught NASA's attention as they're testing it for potential space farming. Even the most delicate members of the produce world, like herbs, can be harvested efficiently using impressive tech. The MTBR Plus may look like the love child of a water wheel and an excavator, but it's actually a harvesting miracle. Those spinning wheels are tipped with brushes, making them ideal for pulling aromatics like basil out of the ground without causing damage to the leaves. A similar contraption, albeit a little more subtle, is the KJ4N Tea Harvester, which uses concealed spinning blades like a lawnmower to chop and scoop its targets, whipping them straight through to a big sack in the back. An astonishingly futuristic, fully automated approach to farming can be seen in Tom here, a FarmBot produced by the Small Robotics Company. In 2023 alone, Tom managed to count 345 million plants and sniff out 41 million weeds that needed destroying, storing, and displaying it all in a visual database. This insane level of analysis and the targeted approach it made possible led the farm who used it to a huge 90% reduction in herbicides and a 24% reduction in fertilizer. But how? Well, here's the thing. The coolest part of all is how the other robots in the team act on Tom's data. A modified version of the base Tom robot can be set up to spray traditional fertilizer or herbicides, while other trusty robots step into action in more shocking ways. Dick here zaps the rest of those stubborn weeds with electricity from an electrode at the end of its arms. And this delivers a jolt of up to 12,500 volts, which passes through the plant, causing the water in the plant's cells to boil instantly, killing it all the way to the root. This type of weed killing is essential for the future, as herbicide resistance is on the rise. Now, here's something crazy and kind of hilarious to think about. Say you're a farmer and you're constantly being bugged by insects, but you'd rather not smother your crops in chemicals. Well, this is where Agrobot Bug Vacuum steps in. This self-driving machine uses a series of powerful auto-adjusting fans to generate what can only be described as bug-sucking winds of up to 50 miles per hour. These winds slurp insects off plants and into containment chambers, leaving the plants unharmed. Man, imagine the pranks you could pull off with those bug containment chambers. All I know is this machine sucks.
It certainly does suck.
In the best possible way, unless you're a bug. For an even more sophisticated way of dealing with pests and weeds, mounted on a tractor, check out the ARA Precision Sprayer. This bad boy sprays 4 hectares an hour with an impressive flair. Plant-by-plant AI software, which uses 6 high-definition cameras and sophisticated machine learning algorithms to make split-second decisions about which plants to spray and which plants to spare. This saves tons of money and reduces the amount of pesticides and herbicides required, making for a rare combo of efficient and eco-friendly. This next futuristic farming machine is a real-life transformer. The XAH APC-1 autopilot turns any agricultural vehicle, big or small, into a self-driving machine. Insanely impressive systems like this can generate a digital map of a field, then drive along a prepared route, fully automated. This typically involves replacing or augmenting the vehicle's standard brakes, accelerator controls, and steering wheel with an automated motorized wheel unit that receives commands from the console. With a tiny margin of error, as little as just 1 inch, these types of autopilot systems can be left to take care of entire fields on their own, constantly self-adjusting to account for terrain changes, even being capable of U-turns. all safely monitored from a smartphone. This here is the HV100, otherwise known as Harvey to his friends. Harvey's job is to collect and distribute container-grown plants around greenhouses or nurseries alongside his robot brethren. While Harvey only deals with ornamental plants right now, he and his clones are planned to be strengthened and rolled out worldwide as a solution in places where there's a scarcity of laborers for the kinds of back-breaking lifting tasks Harvey excels at. This farm bot comes with an expressive pair of rear-facing eyebrows. But it's not just a pretty face. This is Oreo, an all-purpose farming machine decked out with a weeder attachment, a mechanical seed drill, and a set of hoes. The bot's creators, Nio Technologies, actually manufacture an entire fleet of these productivity-boosting farm bots. When the squad rolls up, each variant is tailored for different types of agricultural settings, from wide-open fields to the narrow rows of vineyards. They've even gone and given each of these little mechanical buddies names. There's Ted, Joe, Oz, and of course the OG, Oreo. Going ultra-wide and human-operated now, we have the 1775 NT 16 row 30 drawn planter, which deposits seeds into the ground and uses a row of tires at the rear to spread the seeded soil out evenly. But there's also a sharpshooter twist. Using a technology called Exact Shot, the 1775 can track individual seeds mid-air while they're being deposited and fire a targeted blast of liquid fertilizer at each seed. This bullet-time-esque sharpshooting makes for a massively efficient, resource-saving way to fertilize while planting. A similar machine, the PPX Precision Planter, comes loaded with saw blade-like contraptions, known as row cleaners, which slice away any debris, clearing the ground for seeding and fertilizing. And it's super satisfying to watch. Moving on to an even burlier bit of machinery, meet the Nexat all-in-one farming machine. Built on a wide-span carrier vehicle with two 550-horsepower diesel engines, the Nexat does everything, from soil cultivation to weeding to harvesting. And with roller tracks, it's quite literally built like a tank. With added modifications for fertilizer spraying, this thing gets stupid wide, massively reducing the time to fertilize whole fields. Moving much further along the food production line now, we see the Occipital AI, a smart detection software that can spot faulty foods faster than a greased pig at a country fair, making sure only the good stuff gets shipped out. At last, a machine that can warn you about any exposed hot dogs in your vicinity. This visual AI platform also checks the dimension of everything that passes through the assembly line, ensuring every aspect of the product meets quality standards. The advanced AI imaging software processes a heap of data in milliseconds, measuring everything from mislabeling to bruising to the length of stems and food orientation. After the AI has had its say, it's time for the heavy-duty hardware to get to work. Meet the Schmaltz Finger Gripper M-Grip, which does the jobs of a dozen human hands in a fraction of the time, and all while looking kinda like a jellyfish. What makes the M-Grip so interesting is its pneumatic, meaning the silicone finger parts are controlled by changing the air pressure inside them. By default, they curl outwards, but when the air pressure is increased, they close up. But because they're soft and pliable, they can grip around pretty much anything without risking damage to the product. This next piece of post-farm tech is incredibly satisfying to watch in action, especially if you happen to own an orchard. This is the Apro Fruit Packer machine, which uses pneumatic suction cups to gently lift produce without bruising. The machine also features little conveyor belts specifically designed to transport apples, which I just think is wholesome. Did you know smart cows exist now? The Mooncyst Rumen Bolus solution is a health tracker that allows cattle health to be monitored via an app through a very unusual method. This handy little sensor slips right in through a cow's mouth, concealed in some food, and sits inside its body, sending farmers accurate real-time information about the animal's health. It uses temperature changes and chemical indicators in the cow's system to detect things like dehydration, pregnancy, and even the animal's pH, proving once and for all there really is an app for everything. The farming industry is one of mankind's oldest, and while it's ancient, it's always evolving in surprising ways. Take this revolutionary scent tunnel, for instance. This is a large, continuously rotating tube with potted plants along the side. The rotation allows each plant to get equal access to sunlight and water, while also making for a uniquely fragrant tunnel. That's a breath of fresh air. Hey, if you've got a hankering for even more satisfyingly efficient methods in action, check this video out now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.